But in any case, are you aware of those reports, and are you concerned about
Sorry,
them?
the reports of, I missed the first part of your question.
189 complaints of alleged misconduct.
I'm not aware of those specific reports. We haven't seen any evidence that that there's been any egregious misconduct when it comes to managing the security assistance that's gone into Ukraine. I would note that the Ukrainian officials also share our concerns about making sure there's proper accountability and transparency of things getting in and moving around the battlefield. We have welcomed congressional oversight of this, as well as their calls for, for additional work. In fact, we've stood up now 3, I think, inspectors general at DoD to help manage accountability oversight. We think all that's a good thing, and we're going to keep working at it. It is important to remember, I would add just one last point. It is a war, and we all want to have as much oversight and accountability as possible. Of course we do. It's taxpayer-funded equipment and systems that are going to Ukraine, but it is a war, and real people are fighting, and real people are dying, and in battle you can't predict every single, the perfect secure movement of every single item that every single soldier takes into the fight with him or her.
Thank you, Kareem. I have a press freedom follow-up on the President's democracy remarks, and then I'd like to ask you about fentanyl in China. On press freedom, the journalist Matt Taibbi this week said that the IRS visited his home on the same day as he testified to a House Select Subcommittee on the alleged weaponization of government. Taibbi worked on the Twitter Files project that revealed government cooperation with Twitter to censor disfavored speech. President Biden said just now at the pro-democracy gathering that we should have, quote, be better protecting activists and journalists from cyber threats, harassment, and abuse. There have, of course, been domestic issues with the U.S. treatment of journalists, as a colleague in our 6th row could attest. But I was wondering if you could respond to this Taibbi visit by the IRS and say whether this is part of a campaign to harass or intimidate them related to his journalism.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to refer you to the IRS on that.
Okay, and regarding China and fentanyl, Congressman Mike Garcia today called for the U.S. to, quote, put a finger on the chest of China to address the root of the crisis. President Biden talked about fentanyl in Canada recently. He didn't mention that it's coming mostly from China. This has been kind of a recurring feature, including at the State of the Union. President Biden often talks about wanting competition and not conflict with China, but with nearly 300,000 Americans dead over 5 years, many people, including Senator